for Sagittarius for the month of March. So 7 of Wands in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. I think Libra got this in that same position, and I shuffle a lot. So, maybe check out the Libra video. Okay. 7 of Wands. I'm going to clarify these with the 5 of Wands. Tussle, fighting. You're putting these conversations down. Coming out of February, I feel like it's with your family, Sagittarius. Just old ways of being and old ways of relating to your relatives is not who you are anymore. It doesn't feel like the right suit. Like it's not the right, whatever mask you've been wearing with particular family members. I feel like they're siblings, Sagittarius. I feel like you're dropping your mask with them and you don't feel the need to put up a front anymore with these particular people in your life. And if they're not relatives, I feel like they're close friends who could be family, just not of your bloodline. So, yeah, I feel like in the past, you've been approaching these relationships and maybe either giving too much of yourself to them and not receiving back in the flow of giving and receiving, like healthy relationships should operate. Or maybe you've been the one to rely on these people too heavily without giving back to them in the way that feels equal to you. And it doesn't have to be in the same way. But in the ways that you can give back to these relationships and vice versa. So I'll pull a clarifier on those. The King of Swords. Okay. So, Sagittarius, fire sign. I feel like there's a male figure, air sign in your life. And this could be an older brother to you, some type of older sibling, or even a father that this is pointing to, that you're coming out of February having dealt with this relationship and examining who you've become in the now and how your automatic and their automatic ways of relating to each other just don't feel authentic anymore. And I feel like you're going to have to be the one to either start that conversation or start relating to this person or people in your newfound way and in a more honest and relaxed way and responsive instead of reactive. So I feel like you've been dealing with that coming out of February, moving into March. And there may have been, with these new realizations and what you feel like you want, where you want the relationship to move and what you want to offer, it could be met with a little bit, have been met with a little bit of resistance from the other party. So, how is that resonating for you, Sagittarius? Who's coming to mind? That's where it's going to be relevant to you. And again, because it's a general reading, it's going to be different for everybody. I feel like there's more messages that want to come through on these two cards. So being Pentacles, I feel like it's in a material sense. So maybe they've lent you money in the past and there were terms to this agreement of how, what time period they were going to lend it to you by, and that time period has long passed, and now you're coming back, or they're coming back with a repayment, and it's like it's a drop in the bucket. I wouldn't deny their offering. However, just be aware that if this is you, just be aware that it's going to seem, they might be a little bit resentful of it, but I feel like they'll also get over it very quickly too, with it just being a 4. It's not a major arcana card, and this is just in your everyday environment and circumstance. And ultimately, they are going to accept your gift. They will see that it is sincere and it's coming from the heart. And again, this could be going either way because the 6 of Pentacles here. Either you giving or receiving too much from a particular familial relationship, Sagittarius. Okay. Let's leave those and let's take a look at the March energies for you, Sag. Sword, sword, and justice. So 9 of Swords in reverse, 2 of Swords, and the Justice card. Yeah, I do suggest you looking at the Libra video, Sagittarius. I'm not sure how that's going to relate to your situation, but this is the Libra card, and that just came up. So that was sort of a dual message there. Okay. Clarifiers right away. So many swords. So 7 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and 2 major arcana cards. All right, let me take a look at these. So getting back to this energy of you offering a repayment or a gift or a new way of relating to this person that's been in your life for a very long time in a way that's more of a response instead of a reaction, it's going to make you feel better, because I feel like this relationship has been weighing on your mind, and it felt like one of you has been taking advantage of the other, and that needed to stop, and you knew that it needed to stop, Sagittarius. So with these 2 cards in reverse at the beginning of March, I feel like this is the beginning of March around the full moon time, which is right in the beginning of March, March 1st or 2nd, depending on where in the world you're residing. I feel like the energies, like it's going to develop in a beautiful way, in a more soft way, in a more feminine way, in a more satisfactory, not necessarily emotional, but emotionally satisfying way. Like this worrisome energy around this particular circumstance or energy is going to soften by the middle of the month. And with the little moon up in the sky there, I feel like these cards are representing the middle of the month in March, Sagittarius, so around the new moon time. And I feel like you're going to be entering a new wave, a new level, a new strategy with this person. And I'm not saying a strategy in the way of manipulative strategy, but a new ebb and flow. And it's not in either direction, but it's of spirit. It's not, you're not going to be approaching this relationship anymore. I feel like you're moving from the sword energy into the pentacle energy. So more of a practical, nurturing energy than something sharp and coming from your brain of, again, reaction is coming up. I feel like you're dropping those swords and old patterns of treating this relationship, Sag. Because with the Queen of Pentacles, she has a handle on her resources and what she's able to offer people, and she's comfortable with that. She's not striving outwardly. She knows that where she is right now in life is good and okay and enough. And coming to the realization that what she's bringing to these relationships feels so much more authentic. And you're going to be very pleased with that progress in these relationships, Sagittarius. So that's beautiful. Let's take a look at the Justice and Strength. So the way I do my readings, it doesn't normally progress from these cards for the beginning, middle, and to the end, but for some reason for your reading right now, they are. So I feel like towards the end of the month, closing out March towards the second full moon, there's going to be a very high feeling resolution and success, a triumph in this relationship, and you will have moved through this pain and suffering and argument and old ways of relating to this person, through a little bit of this awkwardness coming out of February, because you're willing to make that effort and because you're willing to drop your old stories and ways of relating to them. Eventually, through the course of the month, I feel like this relationship is going to provide you with what you've always wanted it to. And it's going to feel a lot more emotionally satisfying is coming up again. And it's going to feel just and right with the Justice here. And maybe this is with a Libra person. So maybe a Libra male, since the King of Swords energy came out in the beginning. Or it could be a Leo too, with all the wands here. But I feel like if it's a Leo, it's somebody younger than you. So I feel like Libra father or Leo younger brother or sibling or friend. So tell me if that's jumping out for any of you. Okay. Let's get some more info, Sagittarius. So moving out of March into April, the Knight of Swords reverse, the Hierophant, and the Moon. Scorpio just got that card in that position. Maybe watch Scorpio too. Make sure you can see those in the camera view. Okay, the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Three of Swords. Okay, so I want to talk about these first. The Knight of Cups on the Hierophant. So I feel with this newfound emotional rapport that you have and are establishing with this person, that you're going to want to continue to make that the structure of your relationship and keep doing what feels good to you. And sometimes that's not always the easy thing to do, Sagittarius, but in your heart, you'll know of how to approach different situations in this relationship, of what's the right thing to do without a lot of pressure. But I feel like there is going to be a little bit of internal pressure towards the end of March with the full moon card here. And I wonder if somebody else is going to come in and have something to say about what's been going on between the two of you, and sort of ruffle their feathers and create a little bit of a drama between the two of you, and it feels unnecessary. But also, again, old stuff that maybe still does need to be addressed. And with a third party involved, it completely changes the dynamics. Like I'm thinking about familial relationships. You have particular relationships between you and another, and then you bring one other person in, and there's there's 3 relationships happening, and then the fourth one between all 3 of you, and it creates a completely different dynamic to have to handle in your life. So I feel like it's this person who is a little bit aggressive, this Knight of Swords. And I feel like it could be another sibling who is rocking the boat of what you're trying to establish in the other area of your family life, Sagittarius. And it's going to make you feel a little seasick, like, oh, really, again? They're sort of the black sheep and the Russell, I don't know, somebody who is really good at creating conflict. But I feel like these energies went out in the middle, Sagittarius, the Knight of Cups on the Hierophant, because this is true, and this is authentic, and this is love, like the offering of the Knight of Cups. Like once he crosses this river, you have to make the decision that this is how you want to feel in this relationship, regardless of what's coming in from either side, and sort of create this mental and emotional boundary and bubble around the two of you that's going to be your safe place. And maybe taking the energies of this person on in a very lighthearted way and not diving into and engaging with the drama that they're trying to create. Almost deflecting it and ignoring it as much as you can. Because if you don't, it's going to lead to a lot of confusion and unnecessary drama again. So, Sagittarius, I want you to stay grounded in your knowing and in your understanding of what you stand for and what feels good to your heart and your truth. And keep showing up for these people in your life, and over time, they are going to soften and they are going to see your transformation. And sometimes it takes repeated interactions over time for somebody to understand what you've let go of, like for real. Instead of trying to convince them with words, it may take more than one conversation with these people in your life and repeated ways of interacting with them, with you standing firm and keep showing up in your truth and in a loving way. And I think over time they're going to respond to that, and you're going to get the results that you're after. Okay. I want to pull. So I hope that made sense, Sagittarius. Let me know below. I do read all of the comments, and I love hearing from all of you. I'm going to give you some additional messages. I feel like these cards wanted to come out and play. Using the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle by Judy Hall. And usually the oracle card that I pull at the end of the reading to wrap things up really pulls things together. And sort of solidifies and reinforces the message that is most important for you to hear right now. Sagittarius, my lovely fire sign friends. Okay. Cards let me know when they're done shuffling. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not. This one. Ooh. How appropriate. Ananda light. Aren't you on Ananda Tribe channel right now? Can you see that? It's so pretty. Number 25. So 25 adds up to a 7, and you do have the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Swords here. So 7, the number 7 is jumping out. And how I'm looking up number 7. No, I'm looking up number 25, Ananda light, cosmic consciousness. Ananda light gently facilitates integration and releases emotional blockages standing in the way of spiritual awakening. It reminds us that consciousness is omniscient and omnipresent, seeing all, knowing all. Immerse yourself in the mystical interconnectedness that is cosmic consciousness. Self-understanding. Ooh, this is good. You have the potential to live in a completely different dimension of consciousness. Recognize that you previously operated within a narrow band of awareness, attuned to flashes of divine light within your soul. Let feelings of separation fall away. Embrace unity. Yeah, Sag, I feel like that's completely speaking to what I was channeling through the earlier messages in the reading of your automatic ways of handling these relationships in your life. And through the month of March, you're going to be coming to a more authentic, cosmic way of relating to these people with the understanding and the underlying definition of your relationships being unity. I feel like that's a really important message. And coming from your heart, and our heart center is where that flame, that spark of life resides from our spirit and our soul. And when we're guided by our heart instead of our mental capacities, that's where life really takes hold, and we feel like things are falling into place and things are working and they feel good. So the divination, you're here to experience cosmic consciousness, transform your goals, and seek a new direction. You have exceptionally clear sight right now. Stripped to the bone as the old falls away, do not despair. New light is infused. When you transform your awareness, humanity experiences a quantum shift.